Hey everyone, it's Dr. Ramani. Welcome back to this YouTube channel on narcissism. It's my hope that what you learn here is going to help you navigate these really, really difficult relationships, but also learn about how to heal from them too. It's not all bad news. There's also good news here. And if you want to do the deeper dive on healing, please go to the video notes for a link that will take you if you want more information on how to register for a more in-depth healing program. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. We're building a wonderful community, people who are really, really going to are getting narcissism. The messages and emails I get all the time are people I'm seeing that they're getting it, finally cracking through. And so many people who've been limited by the beliefs that narcissists have filled them up with are actually breaking through that. And it's a really beautiful thing to witness. Now, but this video is actually going to take on healing from a really interesting perspective. Not everyone gets out of these narcissistic relationships. Sometimes they're committed relationships they can't get out of. Sometimes there's family relationships they feel like they can't step away from, work jobs they can't leave. But especially in the family and the intimate relationship space, people do try to heal while they're still in the relationship. They're saying, okay, I'm going to set the boundaries. I'm going to stop blaming myself. I'm going to stop personalizing this, right? But something I sometimes hear from folks is this idea that they're almost afraid to heal, because if they really do heal while they're in the relationship, it may almost mean that they have to leave the relationship and they don't know if they feel ready for that. So let's break this phenomenon down. So we're going to talk about this idea of people saying, I want to heal. I don't want to be limited in this space, but I'm also afraid to heal because it means that I might need to leave the relationship, that somehow healing means that you have to leave. So as I've recently developed a healing program to help people, I continue to meet with clients, field emails, and hear from people from far and wide about their experiences of narcissistic abuse. Obviously, the most pressing issues for most people are confusion, self-doubt, and self-blame. Then there is rumination, feeling pulled back by the relationship, anger about what happened and is still happening. But one of the most compelling issues for so many survivors is actually fear. And fear, as we know, never takes us to good places, right? People acknowledge in that way that we acknowledge anything that could be good for us, that getting out of this narcissistic relationship would be good for us. Like we know that eating fruits and vegetables and getting up early to exercise are good for us too. But we will sometimes eat badly and not exercise, right? Even though we know it's good for us. We may even maintain strange fantasies about ways that we can get out of our narcissistic relationship. Maybe I'll win the lottery and could move away and not have to worry about money. Maybe the narcissist will die and I can pretend to cry for a few weeks and then I'll be free. But for most people, those things will not happen. And in order to get out of or get distance from the narcissistic relationship, we'll have to do the gruesome severing of the trauma bonds and sort of endure the narcissist's rage about abandonment and their manipulations to get them back, and the fear of being alone and the shaming by the enablers. There is so much grief at even thinking about enacting these things that people just get frozen and stuck. And then in a blink of an eye, another 10 years has been wasted in the narcissistic relationship. You know my philosophy, but since some people may be new to this channel, I need to say it again. I don't believe that leaving is the only path forward when it comes to a narcissistic relationship. I think that would be too limiting a perspective. I do believe, though, that saying that leaving, again, is the only path leaves people feeling isolated and stuck. But I have to be honest. I do think, even though it's not the only option, leaving is the best option. It's the healthiest, it's the cleanest, and it's the most freeing way forward. But I know that in a very large number of cases, it's just not possible. It doesn't feel good, but you can ostensibly be in a relationship and sort of kind of keep your soul out of it. And that's what boundaries look like in a narcissistic relationship. Kind of going through the motions, but not putting your psyche on the chopping block to be manipulated and abused. going deep, not personalizing it, cultivating other healthy spaces, all of that becomes really important. Now, more and more people are hearing this content, learning about narcissism, and many people feel freed by it. They learn about the patterns and learn that it's not them, that it's not your fault, that they learn that these patterns don't change, and that there are lots of people in the same situation as you. But it's still a bit of a gut punch as people realize the future faking was a fiction and there is no making this relationship better. So choices have to be made. And ultimately, you have to take responsibility for those choices. So this is where we get into healing. Healing it's not about leaving. Leaving maybe just one small brick in the healing wall. Healing is about you, your internal processes, how you think about yourself, how you feel, how you take care of yourself, giving yourself permission to recognize this relationship as toxic and slowly take your life back. It's about 1,000 little choices and small steps. As healing proceeds, you learn to value yourself. And even if you are still in the narcissistic relationship, recognize that they and their invalidation, that doesn't define you. The scary part about healing, and actually a barrier to healing, is that there is a nagging assumption that if you heal, you have to leave the relationship. If you really start getting stronger, honoring yourself, break yourself out of the limiting narratives that the toxic people around you have always held for you, stop blaming yourself, take the time spent on rumination and turning it into more meaningful activities, cultivate healthier relationships, and stop walking on eggshells, that you have to leave, that if you do these things that you'd have to leave. So perhaps on a more subconscious level, there can be a reluctance to heal because now the heat is on you to leave. And this goes back again to cognitive dissonance, making all those pieces fit, right? If you stay in the same patterns, self-doubt, self-blame, not seeing the narcissist clearly or justifying the relationship, then you can stay. And even though the relationship is awful, there is no need to confront the fear and the logistical mess of leaving. But to heal, that means that you are living in dissonance. You are doing better. And as you get stronger, there is no way to unsee that the narcissist in your home, in your office, in your life is nothing more than an emotionally stunted, egocentric, unempathic, dysregulated, and an entitled person. And then you would have to leave, right? It's like taking back your health. Imagine you take back your health, you lose weight, you gain muscle, you get on an exercise regimen, and then recognizing that you do actually have to throw out those sugary snacks in your cabinets and those foods in your cabinet because the junk food doesn't fit this new healthy life. I am here to tell you that healing is more important than leaving. People can heal and not have to also make the massive leap into leaving and upending a life if that's not something they can do. Healing's for you. It's interior to you. I'm not going to lie. It makes it harder over time, just like looking at those unhealthy foods in your pantry will give you pause and make you wonder, what am I doing? What am I doing in this relationship? But it's a lot easier to throw away a box of Twinkies than it is to face custody battles, to face down enabling family members, to deal with financial struggles and have to face the fear of the unknown. Please never press pause on healing. I understand that fear that if I heal, then what? What will I expect of myself? Will I have to leave then? Healing is about you no longer viewing yourself through a distorted lens. Healing is about seeing the primary toxic situations in your life clearly, so you can start seeing all of the other toxic situations more clearly too. Healing is about getting a handle on the anxiety that narcissistic abuse brings, so you may actually be able to get a handle on other anxiety in your life. Healing is about quietly pursuing aspirations and dreams and not sharing them with the narcissist. So you can give yourself a chance to give the dreams a chance so they don't shut you down before you ever begin. Healing is about recognizing you are being gaslighted and not falling for it. Healing is about taking back your power. And healing is about recognizing that you have choices and can enact those choices in a way that works for you. Family court BS means that you may wait until an 18th birthday of a youngest child to finally get the hell out of Dodge. But in the interim, you can still heal. Family enabling BS may mean that you aren't ready to go no contact with toxic and other family members, but in the interim, you can still heal and maybe skip a few of those family get-togethers. Financial necessity may mean that you can't quit the job with the toxic boss or colleagues, but you can still work on the healing and maybe then feel empowered to find a way to go network for new jobs, get further training, and even if it takes years, work toward another position and find ways to survive in the job and view it as a means to an end rather than an identity. Healing is essential. Otherwise, these narcissistic relationships are a toxin that overtake you from the inside out, that can change how you think, feel, take care of yourself, and even destroy your health. Healing is private, it's personal, and you can do it quietly. That caterpillar in the chrysalis, right? Nobody sees what's happening in there, but it's really stunning to see the big reveal. And you can do that for yourself, whether or not you're in the relationship. Good luck with that.